everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the puff stitch. Now this is another one of those 3D type stitches that have a nice texture to it, and it's similar to maybe a cluster stitch or a bobble stitch or one of those, but there are some differences in that, so we're going to take a look at what that looks like. One thing you'll want to note is similar to the bobble stitch, you're going to want to make sure you're on the wrong side of your work, and you can tell that by taking a look at the tail of your foundation chain. It should be off to the right to be on the wrong side of your project. So this is similar in the fact that we start these off with the beginnings of a double crochet. So I have a few double crochets here and then an alternative turning chain at the beginning just to get it to the right height for this stitch. And we're going to go ahead and do our first puff stitch in the third chain just to give us a little bit of room here while we're doing this. So like I said, you're going to start out like a double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook into the stitch and draw up a loop. And you'll see you have 3 loops on the hook. That's as much of the double crochet as we're going to do. We're not going to yarn over and draw through 2 or anything like that. We're going to keep all 3 loops on the hook. And then we're going to do that again. We're going to yarn over, insert your hook, and draw up a loop. And we're actually going to do that a total of 5 times. So you'll see I'm kind of pulling up a little bit to try to make this as loose as possible. You want to make sure you're not pulling this really tight. Give yourself some room to play with here. So that was 2. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and draw up a loop, that's 3. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, that's 4. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 5. So we've done that 5 times. We have, a mess of loops on the hook. And now that we've done that 5 times, we're going to yarn over and go ahead and pull through all of the loops on your hook. Now, you might have to work at it a little bit. One tip I would have for you is as you're pulling through all those loops, keep your hook, the actual hook part of it, facing down so it's not getting stuck on loops along the way if it's tilted a little bit. So keep that down, that helps a little bit. So now to complete that stitch, what you're going to do is put a single crochet in this very next stitch, and you'll see it kind of bends over a little bit and it starts to puff out on the right side of the work. Over here it kind of, you can't see much of it, but if we turn this around, we'll see we have a nice puff on the other side of the work. Let's see if we can press our luck and do that a second time together. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, that's 1. Again, keep them nice and high. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, that's 2, keeping that nice and high. Yarn over, okay, draw up a loop, that's 3. Yarn over again, pull up a loop, that's 4. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 5. So once again, you have the lots of loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over. I would keep your hook facing down and work your way through all the loops on the hook. And again, to close that out, you're going to put a single crochet in that very next stitch right there. So go ahead and do your single crochet, which kind of makes that puff out to the front side. Let's take a look at what those look like. So if you turn your work around, you have some nice puff stitches that pop through on the front side. They're actually a really neat stitch. A little bit different than all those others that I mentioned. I think it has some nice uses, blankets, sweaters, things like that, where you want to give it some texture. It's actually a really pretty stitch. So that's the puff stitch. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to put that in the box below, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks, everyone.